Hey everybody, it's Rolly and welcome to day 16 of our Soulful journey. And for those of you who are catching this live or within this replay, it is very late. So this is way past my bedtime. However, I just had an amazing meeting, and so that has taken over a little bit of our time. So we just got home from the meeting, and so I am then I was getting ready for bed and I went, oh no, I forgot. I'm supposed to be on Soulful Journey tonight. So here I am. So today we're talking about your body, your temple. And so when we're actually talking about your body, your temple, it's about reminding ourselves that it is that we need to be listening to our bodies more. And so one of the people that I follow a lot around being able to listen to bodies and listening to what it is that's going on is Louise Hay. And so I'm just going to grab in and amongst my disaster. Someday it will actually get organized. Oops, definitely not when I knock everything off the shelf. I'll deal with that tomorrow. So Heal Your Body from Louise Hay. And there are some other authors that do this as well, but Louise Hay is always my go-to. And so one of the things that I really love about this resource is that when you connect with the resource, is that you figure out, so for example, the other day I tripped over the dog and I hurt my ankle. So then if I was going to be paying attention to what's going on with my body, and yes, I hurt my ankle, so that's just kind of where it is. But when I actually go back and see ankle, search up ankle in the book. So ankle. So when you actually go through, she has what the list of symptoms are, and then what it is that is going on from that emotional standpoint. So your problem, your probable cause as to what's going on, and then your new thought pattern. And so I really love using this because it really helps me kind of get things into perspective. And generally it's not wrong. So when I look at ankle, and so inflexibility and guilt. Ankles represent the ability to receive pleasure. And so when that happened, one of the things that I was really struggling with was the conversation about guilt that I had yesterday. So I put a post out yesterday that was talking about feeling a little bit guilty that I was being selfish. And it's not really selfish, because I know that it's not selfish, but just using the terminology that we often go through, that I was being selfish of not wanting to help somebody because it wasn't in my best interest to help that person from any standpoint. And so that little bit of guilt that was actually there. And it was funny that was the day that I hurt my ankle, because that was also the day that I'm I really need to address this guilt thing that's happening. And I didn't go back and look at it until today. So it's interesting, right? So then what she has in there from there. So then she talks about what is going on. And then the affirmation is, I deserve to rejoice in life. I accept all the pleasure life has to offer. And so that's what it is that she puts in there. So when we actually look at what's going on with our body and pay attention to where that's happening. So I know that when I'm feeling stressed, that my lower back is hurting. So it is just more tension in my lower back. Those are some of the things that are happening. When I'm feeling like I've got too many things on my plate, well, then my shoulders feel heavy. And so then I know, by listening to my body that way, long before I started following Louise Hay things. So before I found that was one of the things that I would do, is that I would know that it's oh, okay, so I'm feeling that pinch and that tension in the neck. Oh, okay, what am I carrying that's way too heavy? And so it's just being able to remember that those are the things. And so one of the other parts of it, so that's the body as a reflection of the mind. And the other point that I wanted to make was self-care as sacred. So one of the things that we often hear is people being selfish. So I used that term earlier. And so I'm using it loosely, simply because like that's the kind of terminology that we use when we're actually talking to ourselves often. And so we have this guilt of taking care of ourselves means that we are being selfish, that we should be paying attention more to somebody else and what's going on there. And so it's just really important for us to be able to honor the practices that we have, right? So being able to, so like when I'm feeling this extra tension, I know that I need to like slow things down. I need to go and have a bath, soak in Epsom salts. I need to get my body moving more. So then I need to go out for a walk. Whatever it is that's going on, I really need to pay attention to what it is that's going on so that I can tune in to my own sense of self-worth. And because if I'm not, then who else is going to listen? Nobody else is going to know that my neck is tight and has lots of tension, or that my back has lots of tension going on. And so, like I said, when I do get injured, or like when something's like I'm like getting this extra pinch on my right shoulder, then I go and find out what that means. And it's amazing to like just kind of, you get that aha moment. So like I said, like when I hurt my ankle, I didn't go and say, okay, I'm going to go and see what ankle means. Oh, okay, now I hurt my ankle. I hurt my ankle. Then I went and looked. And so, but it's just important for us to be able to notice those sensations. So one of the things that I often talk to people about that are in the same connection as me is those feelings of anxiety. Like we have an intuition, we have a sense of knowing that we know what is good for us and what's not good for us. We know when something's going to bother us. Sometimes our anxiety gets the best of us, so that's not what I'm referring to. But when you get that flutter in your stomach when you first meet somebody, and then you find out later that like, oh, they're like a horrible person, but you had that instinct, you had that instinctual response, your body responded because you already knew. When you and like I said, so like I'm not talking about like things where we just kind of let our minds continue to go in terms of that anxiety, but anxiety is a healthy tool when it is not a disorder. So sometimes my anxiety is part of my disorder, whereas sometimes it's just my natural response to what it is that's going on. So like if you are driving and you see somebody swerving in and your heart starts to race, swerving into your lane, and your heart starts to race, well, of course, that is normal, right? So then you're going to like let off the gas. You're going to be getting ready to pull over. You're checking around the rest of your surroundings to see whether or not you can get around and get across. And so that is the listening to that body. So you can actually just say, oh, forget it. Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm just going to stay in my lane and I'm just going to do whatever it is that I'm doing. But it's just really important for us to be able to take a look at it. So for our actionable takeaway for today, what I have put together is a body scan meditation. So if you're interested in that, let me know, info@rolialair.ca. But I've also created a body gratitude journal. So then it just gives you some daily prompts, some body gratitude prompts that allows you to be able to have a look and say where it is that's going on. And I like to use it with the body scan meditation. So doing the body scan meditation and then doing the journaling, because while you're doing the body scan, you're really just kind of tuning into where it is that's going on and where's that tension, where is it that you're noticing it. You're going to breathe into it and like just kind of see where it is that's going on and what's happening, and being able to just give it a little bit more attention. So one of the things is that when we experience things, whether it's trauma, the good, the bad, the ugly, we actually store all those emotions in our body. And so being able to be more aware of where we're noticing it in our body will make a huge difference in terms of being able to be more focused on how can we change what it is that's going on. So that is my feedback for today, and I will be back on tomorrow, likely late tomorrow, because tomorrow is our Festival of Lights here in Haileybury. So I will chat with all of you guys later. Have a fabulous night. Bye for now.